Hey guys, how you doing? It's Kevtech here, bringing you another video on information technology. I hope you're having a good day. Happy Saturday. And today I want to make another video on interview questions. So if someone gets a job, or if someone gets any type of IT job, basically tell them, yo, send me the interview questions and I'll do a video on it and I'll respond to it, and I'll basically respond to the interview questions to the best of my ability, basically. So if you're new to my channel, I do IT videos, I do CompTIA videos, I talk about how to get into desktop support, tech support, IT support. I go live here and there. So as always, rate, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you know when I go live. All right. So I have the interview questions right over here, and I'm gonna obviously I'll put it on the screenshot as I'm answering them. So these are actual these are more like get to know me type questions that someone sent me that they were asked during the job interview. So I'm gonna go over them right now. So question number one, what interests you about this position? So they apply for a help desk or desktop support position. I am interested in this position because I did some research on the company as it's I did research on the company, and I found out that this company has a lot of potential to grow, an opportunity to move up from help desk to sysadmin. And I also saw that the company had a really good foundation and culture within the company, and that there is definitely opportunity to build a career path in this company. And also the help desk position actually fit with my role because, as you can see in my last resume, I did IT support, and I love dealing with customer service, and I love dealing with individual people, and I love providing a good IT support, if that makes sense, by fixing their computers, by dealing with software applications, break and fix hardware, and basically resolving any issues that they have. And that's the reason why I applied to this job, because I love dealing with customers. I love giving awesome service, and I love providing IT support. And that's the reason why I applied for this position. It's similar to my role, and there's an opportunity to grow based on what I read, and based on the culture, and based on what I saw online, and based on researching the company. How flexible are you how flexible are you scheduling requirements? Like, how flexible are you scheduling requirements? So that basically means if you're flexible for anything. So typically, if they ask you these questions, that means that they want to hire you. If they ask you questions like about your schedule, when can you start and stuff like that, that usually means that they want to hire you. So for me to answer this question, I'm like, I'm free anytime. I'm free on the weekends. I'm free Monday through Friday. I'm free Saturday and Sunday. I can work any hours that you could give me. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm here to help. I'm here to work. So you could give me Saturday, Sunday. You give me the weekends. You give me the night shift or the morning shift. I'm here to work. I'm flexible with my schedule, basically. So I'm totally fine with what you give me. So that's how you would answer that question. Question number 3. Are you Security Plus certified, enrolled in the CE program? So it's a Certified Ethical Hacker program. No, I'm not. But if the company sends me to do that, or the company actually, I'm not sure if the company is gonna give me that training or is willing to pay that training, I would definitely take it. Even if they're not gonna, if you don't cover it, I still go ahead and take it if that's a requirement for the job. And that's how I answer that question. Question number 3. Question number 4. What other technical certifications do you have? How do you maintain them? So how do you stay up to date with technology with the certs that you have? So I do have the A+. It's expired now. But I stay up to date with technology by doing research, by watching Professor Messer, by doing labs at home, by watching courses on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn does have courses now. And I also follow Microsoft, and I do labs with Microsoft, and I do watch videos on Microsoft, and I stay up to date by following all the latest trends of technology, by following Lenovo, Dell, Acer, all the big IT companies. And I also stay up to date by just reading a book, or by reading an article, or just by simply creating these labs at home where I create servers and I create computers and I put them on a virtual machine and add them to a domain. And that's how I stay up to date with certifications and technology, if that makes sense. Question number 5. In your most recent position, what's the one accomplishment you're most proud of, and why? That's a really good question. Something that I accomplished in my last position, I worked with the CEO of the company. And I was so proud of it because he was having a really tough IT issue. So it was a typical morning. It was like 9, 10 a.m. He doesn't come to the office a lot, by the way, and he's not tech savvy either. So he called IT support or help desk for help. And I happened to pick up the phone because we're on a rotational phone call on the help desk line. and I happened to pick up the phone, and he said he was having a weird IT issue. And then I asked him, like, what are you seeing on your screen? And he says, I can connect to a certain website. So I'm like, all right, I'll be there right now. So I took the elevator, I went downstairs, and I went to go visit him. And when you work with a CEO, you have to be non-technical, and you have to be really good with IT, and you actually have to you have to say it in a way that's not really technical with them, because when you get too technical, they don't understand what you're doing. So I went on his computer, and I noticed that he was having an issue with his cookies and cache, his browser history, and he had browser history from like not even like 3 weeks ago, like more than that, like probably like 6 months worth, and that's the reason why he couldn't go to the website. And part of troubleshooting, what I did was I opened it up in incognito mode, and I noticed that it worked fine. But by going into Chrome, opening up Chrome, and I open up new tab in incognito mode, and that actually worked for some reason. And then when I tried to open it on the regular web browser, it wasn't working. So I'm like, there's something wrong with your cookies and cache. He's like, what does that even mean? I'm like, oh, your browser history. Can I clear that out for you? Is that okay with you? And he said, yeah, you could clear that out. I always search a lot of websites like Wall Street Journal, the stock market, Bloomberg. You could just clear that out for me. It doesn't matter. I could always write it back or type it back. You're going to lose your history. Is that okay with you? He's like, yeah, I'm okay with that. So then I cleared his cookies and cache. I went on a website that he was trying to go to. It was like a Morgan Stanley website, and it wasn't working for some reason. So I did that, and then I flushed DNS. So I opened up the CMD command line, and I did ipconfig, and I did space the / flush DNS, and then after that, the website worked after that. And he asked me what was wrong, and I said it was the browser history, and I was happy about that. Why I was happy about that? Because I was the new guy in IT. I was the new guy in that office. He didn't know who I was. And then going forward after that, after having that weird issue, the CEO always called me after that. So anytime he had an IT issue, he would call me after that, and it feels good. It feels good when you help somebody. But it feels good when you get recognition for your hard work and dedication. So he basically emailed my IT director, and he emailed my CTO, and he said that I was very professional with him. I was courteous, and I took care of him, and I didn't get too technical, and I explained it in a way that he could understand it. He said he dumbed it down for me. He explained it in such a way that it was very, very easy to understand, and that's the reason why I want him fixing my stuff going forward. So after that, I was just fixing stuff for him going forward. So he really liked me because of that, because I don't get too technical, and when you work in IT, you have to know how to talk to people, and that was like one of the best things I achieved, and that was in my other job, by the way. So that's basically what that is. So, what Helpdesk experience do you have? Question number 6. I've been in IT support for about 6 years, roughly. A little bit like 6 years, and basically I have experience with Active Directory. I have experience with DNS, DHCP. I have experience with password reset, account creation, account lockout. Someone's asking me to add into a distribution group. I know how to do that. I'm familiar with that. Someone asked me to create a mailbox in Exchange 365. I'm familiar with that. Somebody wants me to grant them access to a calendar on Outlook. I'm familiar with that. Someone wants me to grant them access to contacts on Outlook. I'm familiar with that. Someone wants me to grant them access to a mailbox. I'm familiar with that as well. Somebody wants me to give them access to send on behalf of someone else's mailbox. I can give them access to do that as well. I'm familiar with NTFS, like shared drive permission. So if someone wants access to a specific folder, I don't give them access to all the subfolders. I want to give them access to that one folder only, if that makes sense. So I've been Helpdesk for a really long time. I've been in IT support for a while now, and I'm familiar with these terminologies and these things that are being requested by me by IT people or by people that are just not tech savvy, and they're asking for certain things. I know how to do it. I'm familiar with it in some shape or form. If I don't know how to do it, I would ask for help. Or I would ask my coworker, or I would ask my manager and get the right approval for all these things. But Helpdesk experience, these are the things I'm familiar with, and I'm familiar with Citrix as well, and a few other things that are being used in the company, if that makes sense. So that's how you want to answer that question. So they were asking you, like, what do you know? Like, what Helpdesk experience do you have? They want to know if you know Active Directory. They want to know if you know DNS. They want to know if you know DHCP. They want to know if you know how to do password reset. They want to know if you know how to create accounts. They want to know if you know how to do this and that on the server, this and that outside the server. If you know how to do break and fix and stuff like that. So that's how you answer that question. Question number 7. We put a customer first when answering the phone calls. However, we do have a high volume and need to manage our time. how long is too long to stay on the call? So I worked in the call center in my other job when I worked for a really large hedge fund. Typically the calls are only 10 minutes long. If you surpass 10 minutes, then that's a problem. So if I have an issue and I can't solve it within the first 10 minutes, then right away I would actually, even before it hits 10 minutes and I can't figure it out in 5 minutes, I would ask for help with a coworker or a colleague of mine or a manager, or I would go into the ticketing system and see if this has been resolved before by going to the ticketing system. So if I have ServiceNow, I'll just go there and type keywords of Outlook crashing or Outlook not working, for example. And if I find a fix for it, then I would go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I would Google it as well. So you can just Google it. But the first 10 minutes are very important for me. If I have someone longer than 10 minutes, or there's something seriously wrong with their computer and I can't resolve it, then I definitely will ask for help. After 10 minutes, I'm gonna have to probably ask for help from a colleague or escalator, or figure out why he's having that issue, or probably tell him I'll give him a call back later. Depends what kind of issue it is. If it's something that he could work around it, or she could work around it, then basically I wouldn't even bother to fix it right now. I'll do it later on while they're having lunch or something like that, and fix it later on throughout the day if they're able to work around it, if that makes sense. If they're not able to work around it and I have to resolve it right away, then I'll ask for help, if that makes sense. How would you get them off the phone? If someone has an IT issue, and it's a long call, and I can't get them off the phone, or I can't figure it out, I'm like, I need to look in. It would be like something like, "Hi, Steven," or "Hi, sir," or "Hello, good morning, good afternoon." I need to do more research before I can figure this out for you. Let me do more research and let me figure this out for you, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Or let me talk to my, and you can say like that. You could say, I'm gonna ask my manager, or I'm gonna ask my coworkers to see if they ever seen this before. Maybe it's an issue that they have seen before, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible to resolve this issue for you. Or I say something like, we are currently busy right now, and I'm getting another phone call right now. So if I could call you back in 5-10 minutes, please let me know if that works for you. Or you could say something like, I am receiving another phone call right now, and I understand you're having this issue. Is there any way you could work around this? Yes, I can work around this. And they say, okay, you can work around this, then I'll give you a call back in 5-10 minutes or 15 minutes. Or say something like, I'll call you back when there's lunchtime, or I'll call you back like when you're not busy. You know, you work around the situation, if that makes sense. Depending what it is, you work around it. How would you explain it to them if there are multiple users waiting on you to fix something for the whole office? Yeah, so that's a different thing. So, someone's having a printer issue, for example, and it's something affecting the network, like everyone's being affected by an issue. I would say something like, we're currently experiencing issues right now, and we're having a high volume calls right now because everyone's having the same issue. You're not the only one having this issue. Everyone else is having the same issue. So we're trying to figure this out and figure out why everyone's having the same issue. In the meantime, can you do X, Y, and Z and work around it? Or in the meantime, you do this and that to work around it. I just want to get you up and running with something as a workaround. Does that work for you? Is that okay with you? I'll give you an example of this. This happened to me yesterday that I'm talking about this. Someone needed access to a program that I'm not familiar with, and they couldn't access the program. The computer crashed every time they opened the program on their computer, and they're running remote desktop from Citrix. And then I'm like, is this program outside of remote desktop on Citrix? And like, yes. Can we run this program on Citrix instead of inside your computer? They said yes. As soon as they opened the app up on Citrix, it worked totally fine. If they open it on their computer, it would crash every time and crash the computer. So I told them, as a workaround, can you do this for now? I just want to get you up and running. Is that okay with you? And they're like, yes, that's okay with me. So I had to do this for a bunch of people because there was an update that recently messed up all the computers, and that's how I resolved that issue. So basically, I did a workaround because they have to revert back and go back in time and remove that update or that patch that was put on the computer to resolve that issue of why the app keeps crashing, if that makes sense. So that's how I would do that. I have to do it that way. That would be the only way to do that, if that makes sense. So if there are multiple people having the same issue, I give them a workaround, and then we look into it further and talk to management and figure out why they're having this issue. And I told them that, oh, my manager's looking into this, my coworkers looking into this, my IT director's looking into this, and we're trying to figure out why everyone's having the same issue, blah, 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 and that's it. That's how you answer that question. Anyway, This is a long video, but that's basically how I answer all these questions. All like technical personality questions or scenario type questions. These are questions that was given to me, by the way. So I hope you guys have a great day. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. I hope this video helps you out, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday. All right, take care, peace, later.